everybody doing today? Accounting 201. 19% of you have tried this course before. Welcome back. Yes, 19% of you, if facts historically prove to be true, your goal is C gets the degree, right? You need a C in this course to get that marketing major or that management major. And a few of you are majoring in finance, I would dare bet. And a couple of you brave souls may want to major in accounting, like these four guys over here. Okay, my name is Curt DeBerg. I have taught this course at Chico State for 24 years. 21 of those years times 2 means I've taught it 46 times. This course, believe it or not. In fact, I've taught it so many times I got tired. I really got tired of teaching toward the textbook because the textbook had a lot of stuff in there that wasn't necessary. And so about 4 years ago, I tossed the textbook out. You all know there's no textbook in this class, don't you? You've downloaded the syllabi already? But there is an online textbook. And when I ask you to read the online textbook, you can go directly to the section I want you to read. Are y'all happy about that overall? A brand new book is $250 with tax. You need to budget some money for photocopying a few things for me once in a while. If you don't already have a 3-ring binder, you'll need to get one. And you have to buy a clicker unless you already have one. How many of you already have a clicker? Sweet. For you, there's hardly any incremental cost of this course. If you don't have a clicker, go get one according to the syllabus because you need to have that on Thursday because I'm going to give a fake quiz that day. Because on Tuesday, you're going to get your first real clicker quiz. Okay, so we need to be up and running by Tuesday. Oh, man. Are y'all excited to be here? Accounting 201 is the language of business. This is not a math class. It's a language class. And if you want to call it a math class, it really isn't math, it's arithmetic. Because we do nothing but add and subtract, divide and multiply. Until the very end of the course, we introduce Einstein's second greatest theory, which is the theory of compound interest. And then we have to look at exponents. So only once in this course do we do something other than multiply or divide, add or subtract. Near the end, we're going to take a formula with an exponent. This is a language class, and I'm going to repeat things over and over, just like high school French. Écoutez et répétez. Écoutez et répétez. Listen and repeat. Listen and repeat. Drill, drill, drill. We're going to repeat things so often that pretty soon you know that a debit is just the left hand. That's a debit. That's a credit. If I ask you to define debit, you'll say left. You are left-handed? Because in Latin, debare means left. Credare. I was corrected on it. It's not durabitum and creditum. It's debare and credare. Means left and right. If you own something on the left, where did you get it? You either borrow the money or you put it in yourself if it's a business. Left, what you own, where did you get it? On your right. This is left-right class later on. But before we even get to that, we're going to learn how to use Excel spreadsheets. And how many of you already think you're pretty good at Excel? Raise your hand. See, so few. Why don't you learn this in high school, I ask? Because once you learn it, you'll never have to use a calculator again. How many of you would rate yourself a 5 out of 10 on Excel? Okay, keep your hand up high. How about more than 5 out of 10? Raise your hand if it's, okay? That's about 1/4 of you. It's about right, isn't it, guys? How many of you have a grade point average of 3.0 or better, and you're proud of it? Keep your hand up if it's a 3.2 or better. That's about 1/4 of you. That's about right. Okay? This is all going to make a lot of sense in the next 2 periods. Why do I ask you this? Because pretty soon, you're all going to be assigned to an Army unit of 3. And that Army unit is going to be a platoon. And there are 4 platoons in this class. And each platoon has a platoon leader. One of these 4 mentors over here. Every Tuesday, you're going to come see me in this big class. And after next week, on Thursday, you're going to your squad class. You're going to your internet class where you're going to be doing your homework during class. Check that out. Well, if they're going to do homework in class, what are you going to do at home? You're going to work your tails off before midnight every Monday before coming to this class, because you have to watch a bunch of videos narrated by me on YouTube. You got to watch these, and you got to come in on Tuesday at 9:30, and I'm going to quiz you on those videos. What used to be what I did in class by big lecture, I'm assuming you've heard it all already. And now I can go deep and narrow to prepare you for your homework. And then on Thursday, you do it. Does that sound kind of weird? No, it does to some of you, doesn't it? Because for 14 years, you've been lectured to, and the sage on the stage tells you what you need to know, and then you dutifully write it all down. And your number one question is, will this be on the test? No, your number one question now will be, do I really understand this? Why, when John put in $20,000 to start his painting business, when we accounted for that, why are we off $18,000? It's because we put $20,000 on the left and we made an error. We put $2,000 on the right. We're not in balance, are we? In this class, our goal is to always find balance. And it's not a yoga class. It's an accounting class. Already the jokes, huh? You're tired of them already. All right, so how many, you've all got your syllabus, right, already? And your course schedule. We're going to look at those so you know exactly how the rules are played here, because every day something's due. A reading assignment, video assignment usually, and something to be turned into your grader and to your breakout leader. And if you didn't get it right, we're going to give you credit for your first stab, but on occasion we're going to throw that one out and throw in your corrected one, because we believe there's a whole lot of learning going on your second pass. That's kind of unusual, isn't it? Very rarely do you get a second shot at it. Well, that's reality. Most of the time, you do get a second shot at it in education. In the real world, maybe not so much. But here, yes. So, nothing due today. Your grader for the class, as you all have the PowerPoints, your grader, make a note now. His name is Cole Felt. His email address, which you can't really see very clearly here, and in fact, I'll rewrite it here so you can see it very largely. Every time you hand in an assignment, it's going to be emailed to that dude, Cole. Have you all had Blackboard and Lurid courses before where you could get stuff directly from Blackboard? Everything you'll need in this class is there right now. Occasionally, I may find something else that I think is really cool, and I'll either put it on Blackboard and send it to you there, and I'm going to have a second way to contact you. I'm going to contact you at that address and also your secondary address if you use it. Okay? At the end of your syllabus, didn't you have to fill out a student information sheet for me? I'm curious, how many of you have already done that? Okay? Let's do something right now. Let's take 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to go to the last page of the syllabus. And if you've already filled it out, relax a few minutes. If you haven't filled it out, fill out a hard copy of it, or if you've got a laptop with you, just email me the answers in the next 10 minutes. Okay? So let me go to the course information sheet. So if you've got a laptop or a desktop or a tablet, bring it to class with you every time, because if you're unfortunate enough to get the back row, you sometimes might not be able to see that so clearly. But if you've opened up to where I am, no worries. So, on this thing, if you've already done a hard copy, fine. You can turn it in after class. If you've done a hard copy and want to go ahead and just email me the answers right now, you can do that. If you don't have either, take out a blank sheet of paper and just fill this out. Class time is 9:30 Tuesday. Your name and your preferred email address. Class standing. Freshman all the way to senior. If you're in between, give me what you really think you are in your heart. What's your major / option? If you know it, put it down. If you don't have any idea, just say you don't know. Is English your first language? Oui ou non? Do you know how to use Excel or another computer spreadsheet? Yes or no? How would you rate your skills with spreadsheets on a 1 to 10? Do you have easy access to a personal laptop or a desktop or, I should say, or a notebook? Because some of these notebooks have Excel on them now, don't they? And they're really pretty good for that. Give me your GPA within a couple points. Between 2 and a 2.5, between a 2.5 and a 3, between a 3 and a 3.5, and above 3.5. By the way, when you email this to me, if you're going to email it, my email address is cdberg@csuchico.edu. So that's where you're going to send that. And then in the back here, just give me a paragraph or so if you've traveled globally at all, and if you've got any work experience in business. So just take a minute or so on each of those. Where have you been? Most of you maybe Mexico or Canada, or maybe a few of you traveled to Europe or the Middle East. I would love all of this to be emailed to me, unless you've done a hard copy really neatly and you're going, hey, I'm in. So if you've already done that, you can hand that in at the end of class. Otherwise, these answers I'd prefer to be emailed to me as a straight text file, or you can scan this and fill it in as a PDF file, whatever you like to do. Rather than pass them forward, before you leave today, you'll just bring your hard copy. If that's all you have, just bring it up here and put it on the floor, on the desk. If not, please email these to me before 5 today. Is that a deal? All right. So, as you can see from this PowerPoint, welcome to the course. What's due today, I say? I say nothing's due because today's the first day. But each of these PowerPoint presentations is structured the same. The first thing is, what's the reading internet assignment due? The second assignment says, what video assignments are due? They have to be watched before midnight on Monday. No last-minute Lisa's or Larry's here. You got to do the work, and you got to think about it a little while before you come to class. I don't want you just checking off the box at 8:30 saying, I just watched them. Nope, we're not checking boxes here. We're learning. And after you've seen these videos, I hope the last thing you think of before you go to bed is assets, liabilities, equity. And then the third thing was, what was due to your grader and your breakout reader before breakout leader? Nothing. What's happening today? Did we complete a brief survey already? Yes. Have we gone over the syllabus and course schedule? No, not yet. We've kind of talked about a little bit about the flip model, but now I'll give you some structure as to why that's happening. We jumped ahead and did a student information sheet because I wanted that out of the way so I wouldn't have to interrupt us later on when we were kind of hitting our stride. Okay? And then we're going to take a quick look at Wikipedia. You've all heard of Wikipedia, right? Well, we all know you can't trust everything you read on the internet. But almost everything there for Principles of Accounting 1 is pretty solid. I've looked at it. And it's not rocket surgery. It's all pretty solid, simple information. There is a free online book we'll look at today, and I'll direct you to those pages as we go. Time out a second. Every one of these large lectures is going to be videotaped. And at the end of each week, George is going to condense these down to get rid of the chaff, and he's going to upload the video on YouTube. So if you're really sick before the midterm and you missed the Tuesday lecture, and you kind of fell behind and your group can't help you, you can at least go to YouTube and see what you missed from me. That's a service to people who have to miss class, or later on when they study for the midterm or the final, if they really are a glutton to hear me talk some more, they can go to YouTube. At the end of this class, we're going to present the fundamental accounting equation, which many of you already are familiar with from your high school business class, or from your first try at this course, or your first and second try. All right. Did the survey. Let's go over the syllabus. If you have it on your screen because you brought your laptop or iPad, open it. If you haven't, I'll try to keep this as large on the screen as I can so you can see it. Can you see this in the back okay? Back row? Okay. If you ever want to reach me, I'm in Tehama. That's right next to Butte Station, the little cafe across from Butte College, or Butte Hall. Tehama is right next to it. I'm on the 3rd floor. I'll be there every Tuesday, Thursday from 2 to 4:30. Dr. DeBerg, where's your office? I'll always say, have you read the syllabus? I might force you to go back to that, because I do that so you don't always have to ask me that. Okay. Class meetings, Tuesday, Thursday. The large class meets here every Tuesday. The breakout session meets in your assigned breakout session, one of which is here. There'll be another one in O'Connell, another one in Glenn, and another one in Holt. And next Thursday, your breakout leader is going to walk you over to that room and begin the first breakout session. You'll have been assigned by that point. How do we assign you? One of you who has self-reported Excel skills of 5.0 or better will be the Excel captain. Another one of you in your group will have a 3.0 or better. That's your academic captain. And the third person will either be not so confident in Excel or maybe not that great a GPA yet. That doesn't mean you're like in 3rd place in the group. That just means we didn't have any basis to match you. We'll try to get 1 or 2 women in each group or 1 or 2 men. We'd like to keep it gender equal. If there are several of you in the same fraternity, we don't want you to be grouped in the same fraternity or sorority. If you're from the same country, if you're from China, we don't want you in the same group. We want you to have the opportunity to learn the American culture from your teammates, your group members. We're going to study how financial accounting works. How many of you someday want to own your own business? Show your hand proud. Wow, we're skewed to the right here. About 45% of you. I don't even need a clicker for that. You're going to love this class, because you're either going to want to start your own business as an accounting firm, or you're going to appreciate what your accountant does. And if you love this course, you'll do the accounting for your business. If you don't love accounting, you'll at least know how to appreciate the accountant you hire for $200 an hour. It'd be nice if you learned how to do it yourself. How many of you think you might major in accounting? Really, show your hand proudly. Don't be ashamed. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 116. It's usually 5%. It's usually 6 or 7 of you. Why does accounting get such a bad rap around here? We're not all boring. We all have good jobs. And you know something? There'll always be a good job waiting for us. That's pretty compelling. My goal is to turn the 5 hands that were raised into 10 by the end of the semester. You're going to have to go to your online textbook there on occasion. If you click on it, I'll show you where it is. It's a whole textbook. If you want to download that whole thing, you can download it for $70. But it's free if you don't download it from the site, and we have free access to anything on it. But if you want to buy the whole book, they'll send it to you for cheap. But I only use about 1/3 of this. Okay, so the very first chapter, Welcome to the World of Accounting. There's the first chapter. And the thing I'm going to talk about later today is this fundamental accounting equation. A, what you own goes on the left, and liabilities and equity go on the right. Left, right, left, right. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get into some stuff. Okay, there's your online textbook. Dr. DeBerg, I don't know where to go. Go to your syllabus and click on the link. It's hyperlinked. You should allocate $25 for copy costs and have a 3-hole punched notebook. Bring it to class with you. It'd be nice if you brought the course schedule and the syllabus with you. So I'm going to ask you all to download those. And I know that's awful to kill a tree here. But I want you to read the syllabus closely. And on occasion, I may ask you to refer to it. It's long. Blackboard Learn Collaborate is the site for this course, and everything is there. After every large lecture, folks, I'm going to take what's due next time, the PowerPoint, and I'm going to send it to your preferred personal email address. It's also on Blackboard Learn. And in the email, I'm going to in text say, don't forget, here's what's due next time. I'm going to lead you by the hand every step of the way. Because a lot of us need that structure. Yes?
Must it be a separate 3-ring binder?
No. Yes, it can be an existing one.
Okay.
If you want to put it in your backpack, ultimately it gets pretty heavy and you'll need to go see a chiropractor later.
Do we never turn it in?
Maybe. I'll give you a warning if I might ask to see your 3-ring binder. Because oftentimes in the syllabus and the course schedule, I say print this out and file it. That also means read it. If you own a laptop or a tablet with Excel, bring it to class with you every Tuesday. Now, what does the flipped classroom means? It means that every Tuesday you meet here in this huge section, every Thursday small section. Your 4 breakout leaders. Now, Sean, would you stand up and introduce yourself, my friend? Okay. Now, back to PowerPoint. Why flip? Okay. They said it really, really well there. Now, when you guys get in your flipped classroom, the small one, like I say, you'll be working on Excel spreadsheets, putting together your personal financial statements to start the course. You'll be doing a budget for the month of February. You're going to be starting your own business in this class, hypothetically. And we know most of you don't have enough money, do you, to start your own business. So on the last day of February, we're going to assume you all spend $5 and win the lottery. Your personal cash will go up and your net worth will go down. When you buy the ticket, your personal net worth goes down, but when you win money, your cash goes up and your personal net worth goes up. And then you're going to invest all or part of that to start your dream hot dog stand or Brandon's accounting tutoring services. What's your first name? Ebony. Or Ebony's shoe design company. Or what's your first name? Jose's computer software consulting business. Or first name? Jack? Jack's basketball summer camp. Or Sean's CPA company. Or my company on how to play craps. Okay? Each of you will find something you really enjoy, and you'll pretend to start a business with that first 50 grand. And if that's not enough, we're going to have you borrow some money. So as soon as all of your finances are arranged, you can go on a shopping spree. That's called startup costs. And most of those costs are investing costs because you're going to invest in them over the long haul. But some of these costs are short-term costs like advertising or insurance or rent. So some of these short-term costs are not really short-term investments. They're kind of short-term day-to-day operating activities. They happen frequently. And then once you've incurred all your startup costs and you've got your finances to do it, then, oh, happy day, you can begin selling. Your very first day of operations, cash goes up and your business equity goes up. That's called revenue. And if you have more revenues than expenses this period, you'll have created some wealth. And that wealth creation is called net income. Wow, really? We're going to do our own budget and then we're going to create our own hypothetical business? And the answer is yes. And then we'll look at the accounting for John. Next summer, he can go to summer school. He can go to work for the dry cleaner he went to summer school that he did last summer. Or he can start his own paint business in Chico. We know what he's going to do, don't we? He's going to start his own painting business. He's going to contribute some personal funds to finance the business. That won't be enough, so he borrows some money from his rich uncle Ernie. Now, with his cash that he put in and the cash he borrowed, he went out and bought a compressor and a ladder, some supplies. He bought some insurance. But he still needed some wheels for the business. So he had this personal pickup truck that he said, since I'm using this for personal use, I think I'll contribute that to my business. And I'll buy a little moped as a scooter to get around town for personal travel. Is it possible that an entrepreneur can contribute personal assets to the business when she starts out? Yeah. The entrepreneur doesn't just have to contribute cash. He or she can contribute other assets like a truck in the painting business. And after all the assets have been acquired, John paints his first house over in Arbutus Avenue, right near the old McDonald's on Mangrove. $3 grand he collected. Cash up, equity up. But he only spent $500 in supplies. So supplies down, equity down. He just made $2,500 profit painting his first house. Last summer, he only earned $4,000 in 3 months, and he painted one house and earned more than half of that. Is he doing pretty good? He paints 2 more houses, and he's earned twice as much as he did last summer. And we're learning how to account for John the painter. Because John is so successful, on spring break, he goes skiing over in Tahoe. Meets this little lady named Joanna. Up the ski lift they go. Joanna's majoring in fashion design. He says, hey, maybe we should form a partnership. And they say, well, let's get together after we ski today and we'll talk about it next to the fireplace in the restaurant. And such a new relationship is born. It's called a partnership.
And then 5 years later, John and Joanna are so successful in Chico, they decide to put in an order to buy Collier's Hardware. Because Sil Lucina, we hear, is about to retire, and he's tired of competing with Walmart. And so John and Joanna say, look, we want to keep Collier's legacy alive here, so maybe we should buy a retail store. But when we get this big, we may want to protect our assets, so maybe we should incorporate. So the natural progression in this class is from you, the individual student who wants to start a business someday, to a student who's going to start a business, a sole proprietorship. And then later on, this sole proprietor takes on a partner. And as this enterprise grows and they're successful, they decide to incorporate in the state of California. And if they continue to grow, they may want to go public and issue this common stock via an initial public offering. And that's how we're going to work it in this course. Every story needs a beginning, and we're starting with you, Ebony, and you, Brandon, and you too, Jack. How about you, Jose? Yeah. Red Shoes, you too. I didn't mean to leave you out. What's your name, young lady?
Ashley.
Ebony, Ashley, and you? Jasmine. You guys know each other? You all sitting in the front row. You all look like you're A students. Are you going to be A students? What about you, Red Shoes? Yeah? All the A students are in the front. I can tell by you're hungry, aren't you? You're accounting hungry. Speaking of hungry, I really am hungry. We've got 14 more minutes, and we haven't talked really much about accounting yet, have we? We've just kind of been shooting the breeze next to the accounting campfire. After some s'mores, we're going to go back and we're going to talk about some other things. The accounting equation. First name, Felicia? Lee. Have you tried this course before? No? What do you major in? Just business. Don't sell it short, man. Business. Right? Not just business. It's business. If you're confident about that, that'll get you a date on Saturday. It's business, man. And you're not sure what yet. You're sampling from the hors d'oeuvre table right now. Okay? What in your daily life do you own that you treasure the most? A bike. Transportation. He's got a bike. How many of you, your main transportation is a bike? How many is a car? Oh, you gas wasters. None of you should own a car in Chico. How about a skateboard? How about walking? All right. You guys will never take the elevator either. All right. Bike. What kind of bike?
It works, that's all I
You don't know. What color is it?
Red.
Is it old?
Barely.
Fairly. Is it worth $100 to you?
Sure.
No, sure, or yeah. You don't tell me sure. I mean, if somebody stole it today, how much would you think you lost in bike value?
I'll say 50 to 100.
50 to 100. Let's pin him down at 75 then. Okay? So his most treasured asset is his transportation. It's a bike worth about $75. What else do you own? What do you own? Is that your bag right there?
Yeah.
Is that yours? And you haven't stolen it, have you?
I don't think so.
No, you know so, right? Yeah. Okay. First name again? Lee. He doesn't know if he stole it. I'm not sure I can do much for you. That backpack, let's say he bought it last year for $40 and he's used it a year. Is it still worth $40 to him? No, it's probably worth $30 to him, right? Doesn't he have to kind of guess at what its value to him is? So Lee's got a bike and a backpack. He's got a wardrobe. He's got some pants, a coat, some shoes. Any earrings? No. Any tattoos? No. So I can look at him right now and I can see that he owns one pair of pants, a coat, and some shoes. And some gloves. If we went to his apartment or his house, we could look in his closet, and he's got maybe 1 suit, 2 ties, 3 pair of jeans, 5 pair of dress slacks, and 4 pair of shoes. Let's just guess. Of course, when he bought all those new, or if his parents bought them for him, the new value may have been like $600 total. But is it worth it $600 to him today? No. If he's using about 25%, we'd give it a value of about $450, wouldn't we? So he has something owned, a bike. He's got something owned, a backpack. He's got something owned, wardrobe. No jewelry. Do you have any money in your checking account?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever we ask people what they own, the first thing I always start with is cash, right? Cash is of value, isn't it? And unless you've just robbed a local Walmart or Quick Trip, that cash is yours. Cash in checking, cash in savings, bike, skateboard, used car. Do you own your bed or do you rent a bed?
Own it.
Oh, bedroom set. TV, do you own a TV?
Yeah.
Big screen?
No.
No. Cheap TV. Have any groceries in the cupboard in the fridge right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are short-term operating assets, right, that are going to be consumed soon. They're a current asset because you're going to consume them really quickly. We made a list of about 10 things you want. Are you in Accounting 201, young man?
Yeah.
Yeah, see me after class, will you? All right. I think one of your assignments, is it for this Tuesday? You don't have to do this next Tuesday, but soon, you're each going to make a list of 10 things you own that are under your control that will provide future benefit to you. Does anyone know what the accounting word is that we assign to something owned with future value under the control of an entity? Who said that? What is that?
Asset.
It's an asset. Have you all heard that term before? An asset is a happy face. If I go out today to buy a new Microsoft Surface Pro for $900 and I plop down my credit card, I take this laptop home with me, or this tablet. Does my tablet, is that under my control when I get it from Best Buy? $900, I'll add it to my coveted things owned. But since I'm not paying cash, I'm putting it on my credit card. So over on the right, I'm going to tell the world where I got it. Since I didn't pay cash, do I have to pay somebody later? Am I obliged to pay this later? What do we call something owed that means we have to settle assets or render services in the future? Liability. Somebody said debit. Debit means left. A liability is something owed, not owned. How many of you have at least 2 credit cards? Raise your hand proudly. Put your hands down. How many of you have just 1 credit card? How many of you have none? Bravo. This semester, do me a favor. Get one. And start buying little things on it. Because if you can start establishing a good credit history now, it's going to bode well for you later. When you turn 21, you need to have a credit card. Otherwise, you got to put down this huge cash deposit. There's good reasons to have a credit card now. If you don't have any, tell your parents that your accounting professor said it might be wise to start learning how to manage your credit. So did my Microsoft asset go up on the left? Did my liability go up on the right side of the screen here? Left must always equal right in our accounting world. Left must always equal right. So, the official time here in this class is, we've got 7 minutes left if my clock is right. Is that right there, TAs? Yeah. Breakout session mentors, BSM. When you look at your course schedule, coming into each day, so coming into Thursday, you're going to have read chapter 1 of the online book. You will look up on the internet those 4 acronyms. In your own words, you will write 1 paragraph per acronym. I'll start with this guy. I'll tell you what that means. That means don't take notes here. You can Google it. It means the Financial Accounting Standards Board. They make the rules for accounting. They're the rule makers. But Google it, find it, read about it, and then in your own words, give me 2 or 3 sentences about summarizing what it is. You will send Cole Felt that email before next Thursday. Got it? Do an internet, and now, here's where you need to start working with me. Do an internet search. If you use a Mac, do free Excel tutorial Macintosh or Apple. If you use a PC, do free internet tutorial Excel. There'll be hundreds of them. Find one that you like and spend at least an hour on it. Don't just look at a video and say you did it. I want some hands-on video and some practice. I want you to find a free internet tutorial and just type in Excel. Find one you like. Complete it. Devote at least an hour to it. Complete the tutorial and the course schedule. File open. The course schedule says, email your summary of those. In the subject line, write summary of acronyms. If you don't put that in the subject, Cole won't grade it because he's got a lot of emails flying from other classes. And when he does a search, he's going to sort by subject, and out they come. And also, email the link to your Excel tutorial to Cole in a separate email. And in the subject line, write, "This is my Excel tutorial." Are you all clear on what's due to be emailed to Cole next time? First name.
My question is, what if we have Excel on our computer already? Would you rather us just go into our Excel that we already have and practice for an hour there?
Go find a 5 or 10 minute one and just say, because you're going to learn something no matter where you go. So find one, and even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes, let's say you report 8 or 9 skills. Great. Still do one because you'll learn something new. Yes?
For the summaries, do you want them typed directly into the email?
You can type it into the email or you can attach it as a Word file, right? I don't like squiggy files because sometimes I can't open them. So if you're going to attach the file, make it a Word file. Otherwise, you can type your answers directly into the email. Ce n'est pas différence. PDF would be fine. Okay, another question. They are, every one of them. Now, in the last 5 minutes, I was remiss here. What are things owned and under the control of an entity called? What are debts owed, obligations to be settled later? Liabilities. If I bought that Microsoft Pro today for $900, my cash would go down $900, and my Microsoft Pro would go up $900 if I paid cash for it, right? If I didn't pay cash for it, cash wouldn't be affected. My computer would go up on the left, and my liability, my MasterCard payable, keyword payable, will go up. What is it, 900? Do I equal, does left equal right? Cool. Now check this out. What if I bought the computer for $900 and I wrote a check for $100? How much would I put on my credit card? $800. Now this is really pretty significant, folks. Hasn't the left-hand side of my left hand gone up a net of $800?
Has my right hand gone up 800? Beautiful. The accounting equation will always balance for everything. If you spend money today on lunch, your cash will go down and your net worth will go down. Because the thing I haven't shown you, A will always equal liabilities plus net worth. If I have a house on Arbutus that is worth today $250, or if I buy a house for $250 and I spend cash of $40,000, I buy a house worth $250, I put $40,000 down, how much must I borrow? $210? That's your mortgage payable, isn't it? That's the amount borrowed. This would be called a mortgage payable. Does left equal right with that entry? Yes. Yeah. That's all I want to do today, to show you how to sling left and right. You got a lot of homework for Thursday. Be careful out there. Yeah. From the syllabus, your course sheet, if you have a hard copy, bring it right up here.